So, what's your plan? What do you plan to do henceforth? Where are you going? And
my plan is I'm going to Delhi tomorrow,
mm-hmm.
and then to the very sacred small town of Vrindavan.
Oh.
I'm sure you discussed Vrindavan at length.
Well, you can tell us a little
No,
about
I can't.
Vrindavan.
No, you're uniquely qualified. I'm not.
No.
No. So anyway, in a future broadcast, maybe you can say something about Vrindavan.
I'll try.
It's changed a lot over the years.
Yes.
I've gone there a few times, and it's a very purifying place to be. So is Mayapur. Yeah, I'm leaving Mayapur tomorrow, getting a ride into Calcutta with an old friend of mine, who's the manager of our restaurant here. We were serving in Canada about 20 years ago, so I'm getting a ride with him tomorrow to Calcutta,
mm-hmm.
the city of joy, as I say. Whatever that means,
Okay.
Read it as you like. And from there, catch a flight to Delhi. I'll be in Delhi overnight with 3 other devotees from Brazil.
Oh.
And then we're all catching a 6 a.m. bus to Vrindavan. Very sacred small town. Very, very sacred in our lineage, in our theology. I'll stay there for a few days, and then I think I'm scheduled to go back to Nairobi first week of May.
Wow.
Sorry, I go back to Nairobi end of April, and then back to Canada, Vancouver, Canada, the first week of May.
Okay.
I then hope to come back here in October,
mm-hmm.
participate in the Parikrama, a big annual event. I've never been on the Mayapur Parikrama.
Oh.
No, I know. Something I hope to do, and we'll see what happens as the year goes by.
Nice.
Mm.
Full packed schedule.
I hope so.
What is the most attractive feature of Vrindavan for you?
The temples are always nice to visit.
I've heard a lot of people say that even if they wanted to forget Krishna, if they wanted to forget God, it was nearly impossible to do so in Vrindavan.
Yes.
Because everybody on the street,
yes,
every person, even the rickshaw driver, the shopkeeper, everybody would greet you by saying Radhe Radhe.
In the West, in Canada and the US, if you say praise God or something like this to a man on the street in America or Canada, they would look at you as if you need to be in a mental hospital. Whereas in India, if you don't say something like that, they're shocked and disappointed. Just goes to show. So the beauty of Vrindavan is everywhere you walk, everything you smell, everything you hear, everything you see reminds you of God in one way or another. Either you're walking past a temple, or you're walking past a spiritual practitioner, or you're seeing food that's being prepared in a temple which will be offered to God. So it's impossible to avoid. So the purifying element and aspect is 24 hours.
And they say there are over 5,000 temples in Vrindavan.
Yeah.
In such a small place.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to sleep too long in Vrindavan. Right from early in the morning, the bells would start ringing everywhere.
You're woken up by the imam calling people to pray in the mosque, or you're woken up by a pujari calling people to come to the temple.
Yes.
Or if you're not woken up by a two-legged person, you're woken up by a four-legged creature. Because the amount of monkeys running around Vrindavan now is... Actually, that's one of my fears about being in Vrindavan. Because the population of monkeys has exploded.
Yes.
It's exploded. And they're becoming more aggressive, more bold, less shy, less hesitant, and less cautious. These glasses I have here, these are my reading glasses. If you look, the edge of this has been completely frayed. Because this was snatched right out of my hand by a monkey who was about 10 inches tall last year. I was so vigilant, I was keeping my cell phone in my left hand, holding on tightly to it, because I knew what the monkeys were capable of doing. And just out of nowhere, some monkey came and just slapped my right hand, just grabbed my glasses. And he ran up a building. And I thought, okay, well, I know the way to get this back. So there's a shopkeeper nearby, he called me over, he wanted to sell me one of these 250 milliliter bottles of juice to do a little bartering with the monkey. So I paid for the juice, and he knows the monkeys know him. So right in front of me, they did the exchange, and the monkey dropped the glasses, but they fell into the gutter, full of gutter water. And I thought, I've got 2 pairs of glasses in India. I don't care how dirty they are, I have to get them back. So somebody came over, he got a rake, he pulled the glasses out from the dirty water. I bought a bottle of Dettol, sterilized it, and put it back on. That's the problem with Vrindavan. Otherwise, it's a good place to be.
Well, it keeps you alert.
Very much so.
And it also keeps you renounced. You may lose anything.
That's right. That's right.
Yes. It's amazing. Vrindavan is amazing.
It is. It is.
The presence of the Lord is palpable everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone reminds you.
Mm-hmm.
And it has more or less, even though it has changed so much with technology and modernization, still there is so much of the olden day,
Flavor and mood.
Yes, it's still there.
If you're an atheist when you go there, you won't be when you leave.
Yes.
That's for sure. And that was my experience being in the neighboring town of Navadvip yesterday. It seems like it's a place locked in another century. And people are content. People are content.
That's exactly what I wanted to say, is that you go to the West, my own travels, into countries where people are very wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at them and smile, they look at you
with suspicion.
Yes, and with incredulity. They're wondering, why is this man smiling? What's there to be so happy about?
Mm-hmm.
And it's very hard to see them smile. They have so much money and they just throw it around, buying things, they have fancy cars. But what they don't have is a smile.
I went today with these 3 devotees from Brazil. We went to one of the temples on the other side of the Jalangi River today. There was a sannyasi, or somebody in the renounced order, somebody who's taken his monastic vows. I would say he's probably in his early 40s, and he was just sitting with a harmonium, one of these small hand-pumped organs. And he had a priest with him. He was, offering something to the tulsi plant. And he sat down and he agreed to give a class. He spoke about the significance of the temple we had come to. We had some questions we had. And he was explaining in a very, very satisfied way. And I was sitting back watching this person, and I thought, this is a person who is internally very content, very satisfied. But if you were to look at the external circumstances, you would think there really is nothing there.
In so much poverty,
yes,
so much
poverty, a cold cement floor in the middle of nowhere. But there was a real sense of internal happiness, tranquility, and peace.
Which is what most people seek.
Yeah.
They seek it with money.
But they're going about it the wrong way.
Yes.
And instead of thinking, I'm taking the wrong path, they think, maybe I haven't walked down this path far enough.
Or maybe they think they need a little more money.
That's right. My father always used to quote Nelson Rockefeller. Nelson Rockefeller, being one of the world's richest men at the time, he was asked, when does a man have enough money? And his answer was very poignant. His answer was, when he has a little bit more. You see?
Well, they say that a person who's really wealthy is not one who has a lot of money. A person who's really wealthy is one who doesn't want too much more.
Right.
Who doesn't have too many desires, who's just contented. He's more wealthy. And if we see, if you want to feel wealthy, start giving. Say, for example, you're staying in a small village, in a small town, you have a simple home, and you see a man on the street, and it's hot, and you think possibly he needs a glass of water. Probably he needs a little juice.
Mm-hmm.
Just invite him over and give him a little water, give him a little juice, give him a place to sit, maybe a hand fan if you can't afford electricity. You have given. And if you give, you obviously have more than him, because he didn't have water at the time, he didn't have a place to sit, and he didn't have a fan. Maybe you can give him some food. He may be very wealthy. He may be a billionaire. But at that moment, you had more than him. So in giving, you feel wealthy. You feel you have more. And the more you give, the more you feel inside happier, joyful.
If you look behind you or if you look below you, you'll feel satisfied. If you look ahead of you or if you look at the people above you, you'll feel discontent.
Yes.
And it's very easy to do that. It's
Yes.
very, very easy to do that.
Yes, it's true.
So.
But the more you look up or down, you're just looking outside. You're looking for a frame of reference for yourself to be happy. But when you really give, like you are doing. You're going out and exerting yourself. You're traveling to various places, spending your money, your time, taking the effort, and giving and sharing knowledge, and sharing the good things that you receive to others. In that giving, there is a joy.
But I felt by doing so, I was becoming richer every day.
Exactly.
I didn't feel I was becoming poor. I didn't feel that I was being depleted of my resources.
Yes.
By being in Africa trying to help people.
Yes. Because Krishna does say that to those who dedicate themselves to me, I carry to them what they lack, and I preserve what they have.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the verses in the Gita, I think.
Yes, that's the
right.
verse in the Gita. So, irrespective of whichever religion one practices, if he is sincerely out to help and serve others, God will, further his aim, will protect him.
But I saw that with the Muslims in Dar es Salaam. I saw a lot of impoverished people visiting the Muslim shopkeepers. I think was it Saturday or Friday? I think on Friday.
On Friday.
They'd be visiting the shops on Friday, and the shopkeepers would, willfully give them something.
They call it the zakat.
Okay, right.
Yes.
So the charitable tendency is there
Yes,
within.
it's there.
Within
and they feel happy in giving.
Yes, of course. And it's not done resentfully or
No.
grudgingly.
And the Lord takes care of them.
Of course.
That's true. Irrespective of the religion. That's something great. And when we help someone in need, we don't have to look which religion is he from, which social strata is he from, what does he do. That doesn't matter. In just the act of giving, we receive, and we're not receiving something material. We're receiving some divine happiness.
But the greatest gift of all is the giving of transcendental knowledge.
Yes. Divya Gyan.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Because that is life altering.
Yes. Like Jesus said, when somebody asked him for something to eat, he said, I wouldn't give you that. I'll teach you how to produce it.
Yes, right.
So that for the rest of your life, you don't have to worry about eating. And knowledge is, as you said, life transforming. It can change the paradigm in which we live, think,
and that's what God wants us to do for others anyway.
Yes. And Krishna says that those, in the Bhagavad Gita, he says that those who share this divine knowledge to others, there is nobody who's more dear to me than him.
Oh, that's a nice verse. Okay.
Yes. Towards the end of the Bhagavad Gita, he says that.
Okay.
That this confidential knowledge, he who reveals it to those who deserve it, actually, there is nobody else who is more dear to me than him.
So one becomes God's servant by reaching out, helping others.
Yes. But at the same time, he cautions that don't share this knowledge to those who are envious and so on. So, because anyway, they wouldn't appreciate. And those who are envious, not only that they would not appreciate what we have, but they would waste our time, which we can devote to someone else. And that is why they say that we must plant a seed in good soil, in fertile soil. There's no point in dropping so many seeds in the desert.
Even they say don't throw pearls before a swine.
Yes.
They can't appreciate.
Yes. So thank you so much for spending time with us today.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Hope to see you again in a few months.
Yes, I hope to be back.
And
it'll be more than a few months, I'm sorry.
We keep in touch.
Yeah, maybe later in the year.
And I wish that you have a great time in your journey ahead.
Thank you very much.
And a lot of wonderful people will benefit from the amazing humanitarian work that you're doing, sharing knowledge. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna.